Hi and welcome back. And this is my coil winding machine, and I have wound this transformer coil. However, after I got the primary done, I found that one of the coils had slipped off the end, and if I try to stretch it back out of the way, I think it's going to break. And I'm going to have to figure out a way to keep it from coming off the end like that. I think I have an idea on how to do that, but before I do, I'm going to have to unwind this and take it back off. I put a piece of tape in between each layer, and I think it's going to be too much because it's awful thick right there. So, alright, so I've got to unwind this and start over. I don't know. See, that's yeah. I've got enough wire, I can do new wire on it, but I don't know. I'll think about it. We'll see how hard it is to get off of there. Alright, well, we shall see. Okay, I've got it wound. It's a little barrel shaped. Now to see if it's actually going to fit inside the cores, or if the cores are going to fit inside it and around it. I've got some of that yellow insulative tape in addition to this brown insulative tape that I've been using. We'll go see if it fits. Hopefully it does, and I haven't wasted my time. We shall see. Well, I'm not sure what I did, but I got sound out of it, and that was max volume, so I don't want to get a copyright hit, but oh yeah. That was full volume, so we definitely got an issue here, but I've got a signal. So the transformer was a bust. Let me take you over here, show you that. Let me get some light on it. I had some difficulty with the size of it, and I was able to squeeze it down a bit. However, somewhere along the line, I broke it. I've got no continuity on the primary on these little thin wires, so somewhere in there they're broken. So it's a bust. I'm gonna have to go back to square one and either cannibalize one from somewhere or buy a new one. I think Antique Radio Supply has one. Oh well. We'll see what we can do with that. But this one I've scavenged is probably for the wrong size speaker. It seems to be working, so just have to figure out why the audio is so low. But we'll work on that, and I might go ahead and tweak the IF and see if that helps it. And it may be way off, and we'll get back to you. So I had it working, and I had taken the covers off of these without desoldering them. And when I put them back in, I don't know if you can see that fish paper down in there. It didn't go all the way and cover up the connection, and they ended up shorting to the case. Well, one side of it did anyway. So anyway, I had to desolder it and pull it out anyway and get it back together correctly. So I should have just desoldered them and pulled them the first time. Why did I take them off? To clean them, because they were dirty. So anyway, I'm gonna put them back in now. Make sure I still have no shorts, and we'll see if it works again. because it was picking up. And I decided to clean it after I got it after I got it working. So let's put it back together and see if it's still working. Well, it's working. And we got Alice Cooper playing, but that was as loud as it went. It might sound loud on the radio, but it's not loud at all. So I don't have good gain, and I'm sure it's that scavenged transformer I got. So I don't know. I'll have to find a transformer. I may have to buy one. But I did get it working again, as you can see, and I was correct in my theory that when I had taken the covers off without desoldering them, the fish paper didn't go all the way to the top. And there's like a ceramic piece with the mica capacitors there that tweak the adjustable mica caps, and one of the leads that was sticking down on the corner was hitting the case, and they're shorting out. So I kind of bent them in a little bit and made sure the fish paper was all the way up past it, and slid them back in. And I had a short in both of them. So lesson learned there. Take the time, take the whole thing apart. I mean, take the whole, just desolder the lead, take the whole thing out. Make sure you got it in there properly. So anyway, there we go. Well, I think I found a transformer. So I'm working on my my little power supply, and I found that the little 2.3 volt transformer just doesn't give me enough overhead for that regulator chip. So I had to find another transformer. This is what it looks like right now. So I went ahead and I built a new regulator supply. This is the new one. I haven't put it in there yet. And I went with a full chip this time for the rectifier. But where am I going to get a transformer? Well, I found this wall wart. May look familiar to some folks, but the older ones have a transformer in them, and not a little switching supply. The output of this is 9 volts AC, as you can see. So anyway, you cut into the seam of that on one side with a little hacksaw, very carefully, and you can break the rest of it open with a screwdriver. And that gives me this. So I've already disconnected these plug-in spades, and they just come right out with a pair of pliers. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to mount it in that box and replace that regulator board, which works fine, by the way. It just didn't have enough overhead, but I wanted to add some safety diodes, which I didn't have in the first one. So I'm going to do that. All right, here we are doing the cabinet. Had a loose corner piece here, and this whole edge was coming loose, so I had to clamp it all the way across, and the only clamps I had that were long enough were these really, really long ones. They're very old, but they work. And then this little tiny piece in the corner here was loose, and there's a couple of smaller pieces on the top, and that I'll get those later, and I can use smaller clamps. But this is the worst of it right here. And then I've got to do something with these feet, or where these feet were. They have to be set up more proud than this piece here, this cornice piece that runs down the front. And I've got this little piece of MDF that does that. So yeah, on to the next step after this dries. Alright, so I have glued These little pieces of MDF, they're just a little bit proud of these decorative knobs on the front. I have worked on finding all the splits along the bottom, and that one there, and then gluing them. That's been glued, actually. Yeah, that's glued. Alright, and I have turned it over, and I was looking at see what I had to do to the top, and see if, I don't know if this is going to show up. If we look, well, it's hard to see it. Ah, there we go. Right here, there's a bubble. So how are we going to address this? Well, I'm going to take a little bit of the wood glue, and I am going to put this syringe together. This is a hypodermic syringe. It's left over from when my wife had some medical stuff going on. And I'm going to put a little water in this cup with some of that glue, thin it down a little bit, and we are going to inject it under this bubble. And then we're going to put something heavy on top of it, and make sure we can we got it put back together. So stay tuned. All right, so the transformer is holding down that bubble, and seems to be working well. And I found another little piece on the top edge here that was separated on the from the side here. So we have this ridiculous long 60-inch yeah, clamp here. But it absolutely does the job. Ain't no telling how old this thing is, but it's doing the job. So, all right, we'll be back. Well, it's been a while, and I have been having a devil of a time trying to build a power supply that will regulate 1.5 volts. And what I ended up with was this little module right here. Is a 5 volt, 120 volts in, 5 volts out module, little tiny switching supply, and it's going up through 2 diodes, and I'm taking off there to go to the radio, and the rest of the way up, the divider circuit is a 2.3 volt incandescent bulb, and I got one little current limiting resistor, which is 2 ohms. So, what has been happening, and my little trying to regulate it, as soon as I put a load on it, it just dies. And what I figured out was if I use an incandescent bulb as opposed to the see, that's under load right there. If I turn it off, the bulb gets a little brighter. I think it's hard to tell. Anyway, as soon as I turn it on and put it under load, got some horrible noise on it, but I have a lot of LED lights in the house, so, and I got some tweaking, and I got to find a good antenna for it. So, but I have a workable power supply, so I just need to embed that into my little box there that I can put inside in the chassis, and we'll have a radio that I don't need batteries for. Little old farm set. So there we go. So this is what I ended up with on the power supply. I did go with that little module, and it outputs 5 volts there, and then I put the rest of it up here, and there's the light bulb going off, which I had to isolate from ground, which is why all the heat shrink is on it. And that is a number 222 3-volt flashlight bulb. The original one I had was a Radio Shack packaged bulb. Actually, where is it? Right here. and it was still in the original package. But something to note is the average life was only 10 hours. So I ordered some that are supposedly 500 hours, but we shall see. The schematic is drawn this way so I could fit it on this. This is the cover for the power supply that I'm going to put on there like that. So the schematic will be in the inside cover, like so. But it helps if you think of it like this. It's just a voltage divider, and I'm using the diodes to drop 1.5 volts. And I ended up going with a 5 ohm resistor just to limit the current. And the bulb helps do that as well. So anyway, I am going to put it back together, and we're going to try and hook it to an outside antenna and see what we get. I pick up a lot of noise here in the building, in the house, so of course there's LED bulbs in every fixture, so that's a lot of it, I'm sure. But yeah, we're going to put it back together. It does work, and it's tweaked the best I could get it. These radios were not known for being the most sensitive anyway, but and if I do listen to it, it's going to be from my own AM radio station transmitter, so which is one of those whole house things. It's only 100 milliwatts, part 15 FCC. I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, it's perfectly legal. And I'll be back after I get it boxed up. There we go. See you in a bit. Okay, here we are. I have moved the radio. Excuse me. I have the radio back in the box and in the cabinet, and I have moved it to my Radio Shack. Reason is because I have an antenna in here, and I have hooked it to here, and that coax runs around, comes up here, and goes out to, I have it hooked to a bypass. It's going straight through to untuned. And I have it hooked to my 84-foot inverted L. So let's see what we get. First time turning it on, so. Ooh, that is some horrible, horrible buzz, isn't it? Wow, that's bad. Yeah, that's no good. Let's try a different antenna. Let's try. That's a 254-foot dipole. Nope. Maybe it's the power filter I got? I don't know. Let's find a different plug. Actually, I have another antenna I could connect to without going through that adapter. Let's try that first and see if that helps it. Stand by. Alright, I've switched it directly to a dipole that I have in the attic, made out of copper tubing, without going through my little antenna switch. That might be putting a lot of noise on it, I don't know. Smoke test. Okay, that's quiet. That's very quiet. Alright, that's silent. Quiet. Alright, let's regroup here. So I made a mistake. According to schematic on the 90 volt side here, I've got the hot going through that 33 ohm resistor to the anode of that diode. And the neutral, and the hot is fused as well, and on the switch. And the neutral goes through, as you can see, it goes all the way through to the B minus. So, what I actually did was this lead here is the one that's fused, and it goes to the B minus. Let me turn that off. So yeah, I had 120 volt hot on my 90 volt ground on my B minus. So I'm sure that made some noise. Maybe why I couldn't receive anything. So we're going to fix that and test it again, see what we get. And I'll be back. Okay, so we got it reassembled. We have the hot wire here, which is tied to the small lug. And it goes through the fuse, well, through the switch, through the fuse, to the hot side of the 33 ohm resistor, and then the diode, and then the neutral side is tied to the ground, which is going to go all the way through to, whoop, come on, focus, the B minus. And this is on the 90 volt side. I originally thought when I first got shocked that this was not isolated, and then it was feeding the AC through to the ground. I was incorrect. I ohmed it out, and I could not get any connection whatsoever between the AC side and the DC side. So it is fully isolated like it was advertised. So I'm happy about that. So we're going to hook it up to the radio and see if the reception improves. It was quite noisy, so this may have been the culprit. And it definitely it woke me up. I'll be back. Okay, we've got it back together. And I do not have 120 volts on chassis ground anymore. So that's nice. Or on the B minus, excuse me. But it's still noisy. And that's my own station that I'm transmitting from the other room, so. But, yeah. Yeah, so. It's just crappy sounding radio. But it looks nice. But it doesn't receive anything. So I don't know if I'm going to do anything else with it. Well, I finished it up. Finally. I had ordered a mixer tube and to see if that would reduce the noise some, and it did not. So, but I did do some experimenting. And I found I had that antenna hooked up there and a power supply mounted, as you can see. I found that this radio is a really poor performer. However, I am not running my own radio station, so, and I am picking up some LED power supply noise. There's a gospel station. It's the middle of the day here, or 10:30 in the morning, so that's it. That's all I'm picking up. And that's it. That's it. It's just a really poor performer. It's a farm radio. It needs a really long wire antenna. Right now it's hooked to, I have it hooked to my ham rig. it is going out directly. That beige cable here to my long wire antenna, which is 200, well, it's not a long wire, it's a 245 foot dipole. So it's a really long wire. I did have it yesterday on a piece of 52 foot wire, and it's hung on the doors in the house, but and it picked up my radio station that I run on Part 15 FCC, which is only 100 milliwatts. So anyway, it's done finally, and we'll I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but like I said, it needs a really long antenna wire, and it will pick up. So there you go. Well, I thought I'd check this out again after dark, and I got a surprise.
Back in the 50s. We played them in Georgia in the 50s. Oh, well, it's likely that you've had that first time.
On to Sam gets it. Will golf over and knocked away. Gets it back, picks it up, and then traveled.
Our morning, ESPN Radio, resident Super Bowl champ, and he addressed what he thinks the missing piece is for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Wow, I'm a bit surprised.
Maybe 3 games. I think they played.
Still got a bit of static in there, but
and somebody else in Granfield in a day header. Wow. Where Texas home and
sure doesn't pick up during the day, and it takes a long wire to do it. So, but it does pick up. So I'm quite surprised. Just thought I'd tack that on because I was a little bit down on this radio, but it is working. So there we go. Restored and refurbished with a new power supply, and it looks pretty good. Or decent anyway. Thanks for joining me in the Pudatorium.